What's up, Jets fans? Welcome to the latest edition of Jets Latest, where you get the latest on the Jets, Jets. I'm your host, the spitting statistician, Dane Martinez, and today, thankfully, after the debacle in London, I want to turn the page and look ahead to our next opponent. The Carolina Panthers are the Week 7 opponent for the Green and White as they look to get their first win of the season. And it's interesting, right? Because when the schedule came out, we were all like, oh, it's going to open up. The schedule gets easier. And many people probably, kind of counted that Carolina Panthers game at home as a win. Well, the Panthers are 3-3, okay? So they're probably looking at the schedule saying, that's a win, looking at us. One thing I want to look at all of y'all, if you're watching this video here on Jets Latest, remember, click on that join button, become a Jets Latest insider. You can get exclusive content, all sorts of other perks as we go through the 2025 season. But let's get into it, okay? Here are a couple of things I think we need to do as priorities in order to get that dub. And the first is when we drop back to pass, we cannot have negative net yards passing, obviously, right? And for me, still, it's a two-headed monster. It's got to start with the protection up front, and Justin Fields has to get the ball out pretty quick. Let's look at some of these stats to back it up. I mean, after that putrid performance against the Denver Broncos, who, by the way, do have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. The Jets are near the bottom of the NFL in most pass protection stats. I mean, they've allowed 25 sacks. That's the most in the NFL. Their clean pocket rate of only 51.8% is the second lowest in the NFL. That means only 51% of the time are the quarterbacks, whether it's Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor, throwing from a clean pocket. That's obviously something that's important. Most NFL quarterbacks can stand and deliver accurately if they have a clean pocket. Jets quarterbacks have not had that so far this season. The Jets have allowed 82 pressures, and they have a 37.1% pressure rate. Both of those are the third worst in the NFL. So they've been under pressure. And with a quarterback like Justin Fields, who's starting to see the rush, who people are talking about has, problem processing, getting to the reads, that is a problem up front. And I mean, that's what some of the Jets were talking about. Listen, Breece Hall said, we knew it was going to be tough sledding. He means against the Broncos. But just got to do better of executing. Got to do a better job of giving Seven more time to process and throw the ball. I felt like he got hit too many times, and that's got to be better from the O-line and the backs. Justin Fields said it. I probably could have gotten the ball out on some of them, but I think they pretty much covered us well. And that's the other point here, right? A lot of people out there are saying that Justin Fields can't get to his reads, takes too long to throw. Well, there is some truth to that too. This is an all of the above kind of issue. Look, Justin Fields, his average time to throw is 2.8 seconds. I mean, most quarterbacks these days get the ball out real quick. Fields is 2.8 seconds. That is tied for the fifth longest average time to throw in the NFL. It's quicker than only Geno Smith, Brock Purdy, Jalen Hurts, and Caleb Williams, right? So I think, again, this is all of the above. The O-line has regressed in pass protection. Justin Fields has struggled to get to his second and third read. And as I've been talking about, this idea of staying on schedule, right? When they're in third and long and there's no threat of the run anymore, which is the best part of the Jets offense, defenses are able to pin their ears back, double Garrett Wilson, and say, now what, Justin Fields? And now we're not even going to have G5 on the field for the next couple of weeks. So that does provide a problem. I will say this, though. It should get a little bit easier because while the Denver Broncos were one of the best pass rushing teams in the NFL, we now see the Carolina Panthers, who are pretty much the exact opposite. They only have 5 sacks on the season. That's tied for the fewest in the NFL. They only have 37 pressures. That's tied for the fewest in the NFL. Their pressure rate is only 22%. That is near the bottom of the NFL as well. So maybe we'll be able to hold up a little bit better, giving Justin Fields more time to throw. And he's going to have to because it's going to be different weapons out there without Garrett Wilson. On the other side of the ball, I never thought I would have said this, but we got to prioritize stopping Rico Dowdle of all people. Rico Dowdle, the last couple of weeks, has been one of the best backs in the NFL, okay? Chuba Hubbard is the main running back, the starting running back for the Carolina Panthers. He's been out recently, okay? But Dowdle in the last couple of weeks has been amazing. I mean, he had 239 scrimmage yards against the Dallas Cowboys last week. The week before that, 234 scrimmage yards against the Dolphins. He's now, after these outputs, third in the NFL with 472 rushing yards. And the scrimmage yards he got just in the last 2 weeks are more than Saquon Barkley has all season. And the yards per carry is there too, second in the league, 5.8 yards a carry. Rico Dowdle has been absolutely a revelation for the Panthers in fill-in duty, replacement duty for Chuba Hubbard. So he's probably going to be on the field regardless of the status of Hubbard. And the Jets, listen, the Jets have allowed almost 800 rushing yards so far this season, okay? They're bottom 10 in terms of rushing yards allowed. So Rico Dowdle is going to be someone, I think that's got to be the priority, because on the flip side, their quarterback, Bryce Young, young quarterback, has struggled, okay? I mean, Bryce Young, 30th in the NFL in completion rate, just under 61%. His passer rating, 30th in the NFL at 79.5. You know, we talk about the Jets pass offense. I don't think the Carolina pass offense is much to worry about either. They really only have one big threat in the receiving game, in my opinion. That is rookie Tet McMillan, and I think he's a rookie, so Sauce should be able to kind of get him covered in the sauce, right? And that kind of really hampers the Panthers' pass game. Same as if you take away Garrett Wilson, it hampers the Jets' passing game, you know? So I think Sauce should be able to handle McMillan, and then we got to handle the run game of the Carolina Panthers. If we do that, like we did against the Denver Broncos, to be true, maybe we'll be in a better shape. And then on offense, we're going to have to, we're going to have to let it rip a little bit more. And that's exactly what Garrett Wilson, who will not be on the field because remember, he hyperextended his knee. That's what Garrett Wilson says, that basically the Jets now at 0-6 have to play like they've got nothing to lose. Check out what Garrett Wilson had to say. He says, I think we've got to truly have we've got nothing to lose mentality. If that's how we feel, it's got to be obvious. If you're out there as a player, you should feel like, oh yeah, let's go. On TV, y'all should see it. As a fan base watching, the team and the media, y'all should be able to tell we're playing like we got nothing to lose. I don't think that was evident. We're 0-6. Let's let it fly. I'll say that. And he's going to be talking about that from the sidelines. I mean, on some level, they did that, right? Remember the fake punt, for example, at the end of the first half, at the own side of the field, right? That's a nothing to lose, aggressive kind of play. We know Aaron Glenn wants to be aggressive. And here's the deal. And this is a gift and a curse. Everyone's talking about Justin Fields and his, processing and time to throw and all. But going into the season, we wanted to be able to run the ball. We wanted to be able to be efficient in the pass game with play action, right? Let me tell you one positive about Justin Fields. He is the only starting quarterback in the NFL that has yet to throw an interception. All right. The only other starting quarterbacks are guys who just came in, like a Dylan Gabriel who's only played a couple of games, or people that were in spot duty. Fields is the only quarterback who's played in 5 games this year that doesn't have an interception. However, it's been all real cautious. His ADOT, average depth of target, is only 7.1 yards down the field. That is 28th in the NFL. Right now, I agree with Garrett Wilson. We got to let it rip. We got to try to go downfield a little bit more, in my opinion. And I want to see Arian Smith, the rookie out of Georgia. We were talking about him all summer long. We were talking about his speed, take the top off the defense. Well, through 6 games now, Arian Smith only has 4 catches for 24 yards. He's only been targeted 6 times. No Garrett Wilson. We know the tried and true guys like maybe a Josh Reynolds. We know about Mason Taylor. We know about Breece Hall. I want to try to scare somebody. I'm going to try and go for it. I want to see at least 2 deep shots down the field to Arian Smith on Sunday, all right? Garrett Wilson, he wanted a chance to make plays at the end of the first half. I would want to let Garrett Wilson make a chance to make a play. Let's give some of these guys chances to make plays instead of being as conservative because, hey, like Garrett Wilson says, we are 0-5, and we're going to have to kind of let her rip. All right, so that'll do it for this episode of Jets Latest. Remember, watch these videos, like these videos, subscribe to the Jets Latest channel, tell a friend to tell a friend, and if you want to become a Jets Latest insider, click on that join button. If you want to hear more from me, spitting statistician Dane Martinez. Remember, I tell you all the time, I'm the host of the FTN Fantasy Show over on SiriusXM, channel 87. Check me out over there as well. FTN is a great website. Rankings, waivers, stats hub, such great content to become a better fantasy player and a better sports bettor. Let's see what some of y'all Jets latest not insiders, but day one guys, regular people are saying in the comments. Charlie Field 6260 says, in my opinion, the team would be more successful if 2 positions were at higher quality. 1, the quarterback play to the wide receiver play opposite Garrett Wilson. He's saying now that teams know that we're going to run, and then when we pass, it's just Garrett Wilson. That has been true, and like I'm saying, that's got to change. We got to let it fly, and G5 ain't going to be there, so it's got to be other guys stepping up. Reflection_8 says, O-line did just enough. It's Justin Fields that's the problem. He was the problem. He is the problem. He's going to be the problem. Look at how long he holds the ball. I talked about that. Okay, his average time to throw is 2.8 seconds. That is in the bottom tier in the NFL, but I kind of think it's all of the above. Not only his time to throw and processing, the O-line has been giving up more than I would have expected. And like I said, when we are put in obvious passing situations, it becomes different. That staying on schedule I have talked about a lot for this Jets offense, I believe is important as well. Shout out to Tony Sturgis, who says, good stuff. Thanks for the content. I love, helping you guys out here on Jets Latest. Thank you, everybody, for helping me grow the channel. J Money 9731 says, love the channel, bro. I love everybody in the comments. Hit me up. I try to get back to as many as I can or read some out here on the show. We will continue to talk all week long about what we can do against the Carolina Panthers to hopefully get that first victory of the season at MetLife on Sunday. I will be back tomorrow, but for now, for this episode of Jets Latest, we out of here. Peace.